Hey man, we're back at it with another Excellent Adventures podcast, live from Media Campus West. Reec right here, and of course, it's powered by Blackyard Chickens. Listen, we have chicken royalty in the building right now. This lady right here sets the internet on fire. I'm so inspired by her garden. I love the way she treats her chicken babies. Her and her husband have some amazing things going on in the nonprofit space. But listen, she made a video last year that everybody copied, and I still watch it. This is the egg dealer herself. She is in the building. Brown Mathews, Twin O Farm. Let me hit that hype bell going. Listen, it's such a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you for having me. I was like, wait a minute. This is the black chicken man. Oh, I love him to death. I follow your chickens, your journey. You are absolutely doing things that are phenomenal.
Thank you so much. You are too. I'm gonna sit here and sing your praises for a few minutes. So a lot of people first kind of got to know you, your husband, your farm, what you're doing with the video you guys had, acting like the eggs was like we selling something else. You know what I mean? I was in there whipping the eggs like dope money. You know what I mean? We just gonna say it, but it was a time where the egg prices are going up. A lot of people were kind of getting into backyard chickens and farming, but you have been doing it. You guys got this amazing garden. You really care for these animals, and you know what chicken math is. So we're gonna get into it. But the first question we ask everybody coming out to the show, the first question we ask is, what was your old cluck moment? What was that moment that you knew, oh, I'm a chicken woman now, I'm a chicken mama now?
When I started naming them.
That's it, right?
When I started treating them like my children.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I fell in love with their personality. Mm-hmm. And chicken math is real.
It is real.
Let's just be clear. I said, okay, I'm just going to do 2 chickens.
Mm-hmm.
And then we ended up with 20.
Wow.
And God rest his soul, I lost 3 of my girls, but I'm going to replace them.
See, that's chicken math.
Exactly.
You lose 3. How many you buy when you lose 3? 5 to 10.
Yes,
is that easy?
Absolutely.
easy.
Then you become a chickenologist after that, right?
Right. But what I love too is how you share what you learn, and you share your production. I love the way that you've opened up, your world to other people and inspired them. Like you inspired me when I watch videos and things like that. Like I'm like, I want a garden. I'm about to grow me something. You know what I mean? But it's really, really dope. Though, tell me about those first 2 chickens when you first get into this. What made you get those chickens? Like, what made you get into this?
Well, I had did my research. You go to YouTube and start Googling, and I wanted to see where they're low maintenance, but it was all about the food for me, the eggs. I remember visiting my sister. She lives in Boston, and they always had fresh eggs they prepared for us when we visited. And I'm like, the taste is different.
Okay.
And I wanted that same taste. So I did again my research, and when I said, you know what, let me just get 2 chickens and try it myself. And when I tell you, I would never, ever buy eggs out of a grocery store ever again. Not on my watch. Right.
Man, I did a comparison with eggs, and I cracked one of mine and one of theirs, and I was like, this is supposed to be fresh, pasture-raised eggs, and it is not. I can look at it and tell.
Yes, absolutely. And it's like, when I taste somebody else's, when you go to restaurants and things like that, you don't even want it
at all. Nope.
Absolutely not.
Nope. And then you can tell if it's powdered eggs too.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So no. And then we got the bougie. I call my girls, they so bougie because we do the color. We got the Easter eggs and all the. Oh, isn't it gorgeous?
Man, colors. Come on, that'll get you in trouble too.
Listen, that's all I want now.
You want color eggs,
rainbow eggs,
right?
Nothing else.
Tell me about it. So, what do you have right now at your flock? What does it consist of?
We have black copper Morans. We got red comets. We got Americanas, lavender Americanas. We got Easter eggers.
I'm hearing blues, greens, coppers, browns.
Yes, and now I'm looking at your flock. I said, wait a minute now. You got this beautiful silky. I'm looking at that. It's addictive.
It is.
It really is.
It is, especially if you have some income to go along with the addiction. Oh, geez.
Yes, and now we sell our eggs at the farmer's market.
That's amazing.
They sell out, and so those color eggs are hot commodity, honey. Those are bougie.
They are. So are you team wash or team counter? Which team are you? What are you doing?
Everything back to the basics. We're a team counter.
Okay.
Absolutely. We're taking it literally back to the basics. That's the whole purpose of us doing the gardening. That's the whole purpose of doing the farming, is to take it back to what it was. Because our grandmother and them didn't put them in the Calvinators, they called it back then. And And so what are you, team wash or team?
I'm team counter.
See?
So if anybody that gets eggs from me, if they want them clean, I wash them and I say, hey, we wash them now. You have to refrigerate them, but we rather them come straight out the little chicken butt nugget, and then we just gonna give them to you.
Absolutely. And do you know a lot of my friends where I try to gift my eggs don't want them because they said they're too fresh?
I don't understand that either.
Exactly.
I literally, somebody told me that last week. I said, listen, I'm gonna say, hey, Miss Hines, we love you. She said, I don't want fresh chicken eggs. I don't want that. And I said, just taste the egg. And she was like, well, they just gonna have to mix them in with another one of my eggs. So I don't know. She came back. She was like, Reec, them eggs was delicious.
Fire.
I'm trying to tell you, you gotta. No such thing as too fresh.
Absolutely.
Right.
You know what's going into their bodies,
Mm-hmm.
and then therefore you know what's going into yours. And so we're gonna do this thing. We're gonna start from the rooter to the tutor, like we're gonna do it.
Right. So what made you want to get into the farmers markets and stuff like that? You just had way too many?
Yeah, we were my eggs were produced, my chickens were producing eggs throughout the season, even when it's supposed to be the molt season.
Right.
We were just getting too many eggs, and you can't give us so many away. People like, oh, now you don't want no more. And so there was a farmer's market. The owner of it asked me would I be considering putting my eggs in her market. And I said, I sure will, Susie. And now we can't keep them. We can't keep them.
That's amazing. I'm gonna hit that. I'm not supposed to use a hype bell for this show, but we're gonna use it. We're gonna hit it. We gotta do it with our in-studio guests. Man, that's amazing. Yes. And y'all are just selling out. Which farmers market is it? Because we have people that listen locally. So which farmers market?
It's Table Sweet. It's farmers market. It's the sweet shop on Highway 5.
Highway 5, the sweet shop.
Beautiful black and white building. You can't miss it. They support local farmers as well. And so you'll get fresh produce, fresh eggs, everything fresh in that market. Nice.
I'm thinking about not this next spring. I think I'm gonna breed and milk my goats. So I'll be looking for a home for that too.
You are such an inspiration. In my family back home, and my father's from Trinidad, so I understand the basics of learning how to, to having goats, and to see you do that. First of all, how did you start doing that? Like, what was that about?
That was chicken math. So I was like, okay, so I had the 2 chickens, same, started with 2 golden comets, like my Blanche and Rose, right? And from there, it just started. The interest grew, everything grew. I ended up with all these chickens, and I got goats. So I was like, the next chicken math step is goats. So I was like, I want some goats. We found some baby goats, and this is all in line to what I wanted to introduce. And we wanted to introduce kids to this. So I was like, what's the most adorable thing you can do is probably a baby goat. Yeah. So we got some Nigerian pygmy goats. The kids love them every time we bring them to the schools because, chickens are like that gateway animal.
Absolutely.
And if kids can be happy about chickens and goats, and then maybe they'll start growing some plants like you doing. So that's what happened.
I told my husband, I said, please look at what Reec is doing. We want goats so bad. And it's ironic. My daughter's father has over, I think it's about 60 goats.
Wow.
They breed them in North Carolina. That's a real big high commodity. So my husband's been watching your page. So hopefully, fingers crossed.
There we go. Go on and get her. We talking to you right now. Go on and get her some goats. She really just needs some goats. Why not?
See,
you'll be the goat if you get her some goats.
See?
That's what I'm talking about. Yes. I'm sorry. And I've learned a lot about them. So any knowledge, I got you. Because I know I learned from y'all too. So
and that's what I was gonna say. You always sharing your experience, and that's one thing I love about it. When we're in this space of our life, it's about teaching and educating others so that they don't feel overwhelmed or uneducated or don't know how. We give them the recipe, the blueprint, so they don't make some of the same mistakes that we made when we first started the journey.
Right. And I love when you come on, when I see you walking out of that garden toward the camera, I say it's on and popping again. Tell me about how social media has been for you, because you guys come from a different space, like a different world. It's almost sports and entertainment can be sometimes a toxic environment online. But this space I've learned is a lot different for the most part. Yes. Tell me about that.
It's so much gratifying. Eric and I, we live downtown with my daughter. We're empty nesters. And so we lived downtown and we did the downtown thing, but we were distressed, like our health, high blood pressure, hypertension, high cholesterol. Mentally, we were just in a space of, I just didn't feel my best self. So Eric found this place. We live in Douglasville. And he found this piece of land. And I said, you know what, we're going to be intentional on what we do on this land. And so we started just a small garden. It was just, again, just to feed my family.
Yes.
But again, I felt like a responsibility. If we're going to do it, let's share it with our people. And so that one garden turned to 4.
Wow.
And now we have a community garden where we host these workshops so that we can show people, like, you don't have to have a bunch of, acreage in order to do this thing. You can do it from a patio, a condo, a townhome, but we just want to show them the basic fundamentals of just, changing the trajectory about you can grow your own food.
Yes.
And without being intimidated about, what people say online. But this platform has allowed us to scale and to now, we popping on social media.
No, y'all are popping. Like it's not even a game out here.
But I love it. And now it's just opening up opportunities for us to reach others in their homes, no matter where they stay. So yeah, it's a dope journey,
man. It is really, and like I said, we are fans. We appreciate what you guys share. Like, I love your energy when you come popping out that garden. You like this and that and the third, and you guys do the workshops. And tell me, when you first started the garden, what were some of the things that you first grew, and some of the things that you're growing now?
Well, one of my mentors told me that if you're going to grow something, grow the things that you love to eat. Because again, what are you doing? Vegetables are getting super expensive. Soil is expensive. Everything is now expensive. And so I just wanted to again, grow the food that my family ate. And my husband is a meatitarian. Okay. So he's super country. He don't eat a whole lot of vegetables, but I was like, is it because of how it tastes in the store? But now his palate has grown. He eats everything that we grow. So it's collard greens, it's cabbage, it's kale, it's spinach, it's peppers, corn, all of it. You name it, we grow it. And one thing about me is I'll try anything one time.
I like that.
We are growing okras and eggplants and loofah. I just did a video about people don't understand that loofah starts off as a vegetable.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna wash my body loofah?
Yes, the wash your body thing grows. It's a gourd family. And so it grows like a vegetable and it tastes like a cucumber. So and that's interesting. And as I'm learning that, I'm sharing. And so now people's like, I did not know that loofah grow on a vine. It's like, yeah.
You're gonna have folks eating they body wash stuff.
Listen, don't eat that. Okay?
Don't eat that.
What you grow.
Eat what you grow. That is amazing and inspiring when you talk about, you named all the stuff I like. You know what I mean? So I'm like, man, I'm about to get into this for real. So, man, this was a selfish interview. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, I want to talk to her because I want to start growing some stuff.
And it's the thing about it in these workshops, people leave activated. They are very inspired I let them leave with beans. Everybody eats, some sort of bean. And so when they take those beans home and they start to sprout, they get excited.
Yeah, you see
that.
And
now they start tapping in they feel like they could do anything. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to spark that thing that was inside of them to say, you know what, let me at least shoot my shot. And again, that just, sharing is, caring. And so that's what we're doing.
There we go. Tell me about, are there any specific, because I don't know a whole lot about growing, so some of the things I might ask are ignorant. Are there anything specific about like fertilizers that you use or something like that?
Yes, definitely. I'm all organic. Just like I feed my chickens, everything what they eat, I eat.
Right. I want to talk to you about that food too. So, but let's talk about this fertilizer real quick.
So fertilizer has to all be organic. OMRI is like when it's certified organic. And I tell people when you're buying those type of fertilizers to look for that stamp. Again, because if you're not doing it organically, you might as well buy it from the supermarket. And I wanted to change that trajectory. I wanted everything to be healthy for us, but we build our own soil. A lot of people in Georgia, we got that red clay.
Right.
And it's very hard to grow in red clay, but we take the manure from our chickens, put it in a compost. You can use manure from cows. You could use mushroom compost, all those things that are, they can break down, biodegradable. You could put that into your body. And so we are very, very careful that we only do natural ingredients.
I like that. So now I'm learning a little bit about fertilizer because I got these horses now and they leave a lot of it. So it's high in is it with nitrate. Yes. So I have to let it sit for a long time, but I'm piling it up. So
yes, let it sit in that compost. As it breaks down, the more nutrients is in it. I even tell people who love to shop in them Amazon boxes, we use that box, which is come from a tree. Right. It breaks down and it makes for great compost.
Okay, good to know.
Nothing goes wasted in our house, from your scraps to if you're juicing, you keep all that pulp from the juices, break that down, and that goes into the soil and it goes back into the body and gives you every bit of nutrients that you need.
Right. I'm not going to forget to get to this feed because I want to talk about it. Let's talk about this compost a little bit. How big is y'all's compost space? What else are we going into it? Because I'm hearing what you're saying. I got like about 5 notes right now, but tell me about that composting too.
Yeah, so we have about 3 compost bins. And again, nothing goes wasted. We use from the chicken manure, from house scraps, to pulp from your juices, and even vegetables that die for the season. Like now we're embarking on the fall season. So all the vegetables that are now dying from the spring and the summer, you save all those shavings and you keep that into the compost, and it breaks down to make for a very rich soil. And that's what we use because, again, soil is getting super expensive.
It is.
If you ever know, there's an uptick of people starting to grow their own food. So supply and demand right now, the vegetables and the plugs at those local commercial places are getting expensive. We're just trying to find ways to save on costs. And again, be very critical about, again, what we're putting into what goes into that compost.
Okay, pretty good. So, very good stuff. So I got, because we had the rabbits, we got goats, we got the horses. So I got poop galore over there.
And listen, even with those goats, there is a business out there. There are people who have access to land and they don't want to go in and cut that down. There's a company that would bring goats in for 5 days and they will clean that property line off for you. And I'm like, who knew? That's a new thing.
That's how I was introduced to goats. That was my basically my introduction to getting kicked out of an HOA. So we had kudzu growing all on the back, and I was like, I got these chickens. I don't want to spray anything back here, and if I cut it, it's coming right back. So I was like doing some research, and I was like, well, goats will eat it. And I looked at my HOA, and I can't own goats, right? So I said, you know what? What if I could rent some goats? I go on Google. I'm like, goat rental. About 10 companies popped up. I said, this is crazy.
It's a market for everything.
It is.
And everything serves a purpose. And I believe, like, even when I think about when we're gardening, you know, what we put into our body, I want to make sure it has a beneficial reason for it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so even with chickens, you know, we got the fresh eggs, you got goats, what their purpose. So be intentional with anything that you do, whatever season of in your life. And it's just phenomenal.
And it's gonna get back to you. It's gonna get back to you. So that's how I was introduced to him. The lady came, she was so funny. She was like, hey, they're gonna eat up everything back here, and then you'll know when they get done because they're going to start getting in trouble.
Right.
And I was like,
jump everywhere, like I see those.
Yes. So the ones that I rented, so they were eating up everything back there. And then about 3 days later, I just hear the chickens going crazy. I come outside. One goat has broken into the coop at the time. He's on top of the chicken coop inside of the run, right? Another one was on top of my patio furniture. One was ramming into the dog kennel. And I was like, oh, they're finished. They are bored out of their mind and they finding stuff to do. So I was like, I really loved it though. I wanted to get some goats. And I was like, man, I can't wait. So I finally was able to move and get my goats.
Wow. And how gratifying is that when you said you did it for the children, like for them to come? It's like coming into us. They're able to pet it.
Yes, they're able to pet it. They're able to give them treats. And then we talk about what are goats really for. And then we talk about it like that. But man, the first event we did when we brought the goats to the school, the way those kids lit up and they were like, oh my God, what is that? One little kid was like, is that a cow? And I was like, we'll tell you all about it. So it was just amazing. So that was, It
is gratifying. It is. And I've noticed that a lot of people who attend my garden workshops are now wanting to bring their family and their children, and how they learning about it's the basics again, getting back to the roots of it. It's like creating something bigger than yourself. You're putting that seed of wisdom and knowledge into them, and you pray that they remember that example or how that feeling, how it made them feel, and they share that with their children and their children's children. So it's a part of the legacy for me too.
It is. And the way you're saying is like it's that gift that keeps giving. And we talked a little bit about that red clay here in Georgia. Under my coop, and after the first year, I'm in there just cleaning up, and I'm like, this clay is not red anymore. Like it's like soil, it's like dirt and soil, and there's worms up under there, a couple of bugs. I'm like, man, they have changed the environment out here just being themselves.
I'm using inside of my chicken coop, I'm using sand, river sand.
Okay.
Have you tried that?
I haven't tried sand yet, but that's the next step. What I do, I have a little sand. They have a bathtub, right? So I have a sand corner. So they have sand, and then in the winter when we're I use my chimney and my, the fireplace. I take the ash and I put it in there too because they like bathing in the ash.
Really?
They love
I
it.
have not tried that yet.
Yeah, they love bathing in the ash or the sand, right? And then the rest of the coop we use hemp bedding.
Okay.
So we use hemp bedding or we use fine pine, whatever is readily available. Shout out to Eaton Pet and Pasture, hemp bedding. Right. So they always make sure we got good hemp bedding, but that hemp bedding is super absorbent. It's easy to clean out the nesting boxes because I use a cat scooper.
That's how with the river sand, it reminds me of kitty litter.
Kitty litter, yeah.
And I wanted something because now it's like that chore used to be my chore. Now it's my husband's chore. It's like now those his chickens instead of mine because they mind him more than they mind me. They're so super submissive to him. They put their wings
as soon as you walk over there,
they're like this, and I'm like, what? They don't do that for me.
You know why though? They think he's a rooster.
Exactly. That's what he said. It's like they love him to death. And they have their own quirky personalities. I named all my girls. And he's like, how do you know their names? Like, you can tell by their personalities. Those black copper Morans are it's like his sisters, Laverne and Shirley. Don't laugh at my name.
Nah, I love it.
I got Laverne and Shirley, Thelma and Louise, Sunshine.
I love these
days.
days.
And I got the Golden Girls. Those are the older ones that are such bullies.
Yes, I have Loretta, Blanche, and Rose. My Golden Girls. They all 3 Golden Comets, all 3 rescue chickens.
Oh my goodness, we got the same. Oh my goodness.
And they are the bullies. Because they like no nonsense. None. But they're so sweet to people. My Golden Comets are super sweet to people. But they with other chickens, they don't play the radio.
No, I had to buy those. All my girls, the ones that get picked on, I had to buy the little covers to protect them from getting pecked on. But what happens every time we bring new chickens into the flock?
Oh yeah, that pecking order changed,
doesn't it? And so we have 3 chicken coops.
Okay, that's a great practice.
And so it's like they go into the halfway house and stay there until they're able to, go and fend for themselves. It's a whole operation over there. I love it. They gotta start paying rent, which is eggs.
It's eggs. They gotta produce.
They gotta pay. They gotta
pay where you stay, pay where you lay.
Right, exactly.
I like that. I actually learned something the other day. I was talking to Dr. Biggs, and he was saying that having multiple coops is actually not just good for introduction, or if you're breeding certain breeds, but it's also great if you have different life cycle chickens. So if you have your older chickens, he was like, you can actually move them to one coop as they're not laying as much because their diet need to change differently because they don't need the added calcium, or they may not need oyster shells or whatever you add into it. You know what I mean? So he was like, it's a really cool idea to have those multiple coops.
You know what? I did not think about that because now we have the Golden Girls, which are the older ones that are not laying as much, but it's kind of hard on who's not giving me eggs without putting cameras in there. Right. But I'm like,
we'll get you some cameras. Get you some cameras.
I know.
That's the funnest thing in the world. I got a duck cam. I'm gonna show you off camera right now. I can go. I'll be spying on my ducks. Yeah.
And when we had a predator come and take 2 of my girls, and we had the camera, but then we just didn't, follow through with that. But I really wanted to know, how do you find out when your girls are not laying anymore? Like, do you have to isolate them from the rest of the flock? Like, what do you do?
Yeah. Well, the cameras do help with that too. If you, because your chickens, so you know who is of what age and what breed, and you kind of go from there. So we know our Golden Common's gonna super lay between 1 and 3 years old. At 3 is going to taper down, and every chick is different, just like people, right? It may taper down. So now you're looking at, okay, I'm gonna look at egg color based on what I have. And if let's say my copper Morans, if those color eggs aren't showing up like that every day, I know she's slowing down. If those light brown and tan eggs aren't showing up every day, okay, they're slowing down. Maybe I can move them around.
Right. Gotcha. It's like my blue egg, Meg the Stallion. That's
I like it. I like it.
She's my Americana. She is amazing. She's pumping out those eggs, but she's also on the lower of the pole of the pecking order. Yeah. So they tearing that baby up.
Oh man. So yeah, you might have to move it around. Sometimes it's just moving them around. Moving around coops or something like that. I had to do that too. Like I got 2 black copper Morans right now. They're pullets, and I got an Easter egger and I got a mystery chicken from Tractor Supply. I don't know what it is. I don't know what that baby is. Right? It's a chicken. Right. But what we did was, because we got that big 9x20 run, I got a dog kennel in the run. Okay. So they're inside this dog kennel. Before I introduced them, they had been in there for as soon as they feathered out, probably a week later, I put them in there. They were in there for like a month straight. just interacting with the big girls.
Right.
So now when the day I let them out to interact with the whole flock, I mean, that pecking order thing, it went like that. It wasn't much of anything.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I think about that because again, I wanted to get more chickens.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell my husband. Well, I can't. I guess he knows now, right?
He knows.
We got chickens in production. We got chicken order out there. I have this connect that raises the chickens for me because I don't have. It's about the time management for me to manage the gardens and all that what we have going on.
Yeah, you got a lot going on.
Yes, it's production, and so. Shout out to Pasture Farms. I love them.
Mm-hmm.
They raised my chickens up until about 9 weeks.
Cool. So they brewing them up for you. I love them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so they come to me and we just do that whole, put them in the transition house and then we introduce them. But it definitely saves time. And so when people, what advice, because I get this question all the time, because you've raised so many, when is it time consuming raising them from the chick?
Yes.
Like to, be able to migrate with your rest of the flock?
Yes and no. I would say that. Yes and no. If you're going out there to feed your chickens every day anyway, brooding is not that. It's not that much different at all. And I'm like, everybody's journey is different. Mine has been this. Like, I got this big tub from Tractor Supply, like the big water trough, the metal one. I got a grate to go over the top of it, and I got a heat box. I don't like lamps anymore, so I got my little heating pad, and then the food and the water. Trick is with the food and the water is put it up so they don't get stuff in it every day.
Okay.
And if you got enough water to last them like a couple days at a time, that's cool, as long as it's sitting up a little bit, because they can figure it out. I put rocks around it in the water. Okay. Because the baby chicks, they could drown. So we put pebbles in it. Okay. So if they get stuck in there, they can get back out. Okay. And then the food, we just have, a good food in there, and they do pretty well. So like every day I check it. I just want to see them. That's part of my therapy. Yes. Every day I want to check it. But then also it's pretty cool because I don't have to do something with it every day. Yeah. I just got to kind of watch them. So if they all huddled together, I know I need more heat. If they kind of chilling, okay, they good. And then you just check them every couple of days, make sure they don't have poopy butt. Okay. You know what I mean?
Okay. I always thought about that. And my husband and I, because we empty nesters, we travel. And then it's like, who's gonna watch your chickens when you're gone?
Let's talk about that too.
Listen, so we're purchasing a property in Mexico, and so we go for like 30 days at a time. And my daughter, I was like, "Hey, can you be on chicken duty?" I'm thinking I'm coming back. She's like, "Oh, they're producing eggs." She hadn't cleaned the coop in 30 days.
Did she at least get the eggs out?
She got the eggs, but I had mounds and mounds and mounds of poop. Yeah. How do you take that? Now I feel like I can't go, but so long without checking on my girls. Do you have a chicken keeper?
No, I don't feel bad now. Like I had the same situation. My daughter, I'm like, I was gone for like a week. On work travel, and I'm like, can you do this? Can you do that? I got a whole list. I got a text, but I'll show you the whole text message. I'm like, you gotta do this with this, and I feel a little bad because I got goats, I got rabbits, I got this, I got that, but they say they're like animals. Man, I came back to the coop was upside down. I'm gonna tell you that, and I'm like, what are you doing? You see me do it every day. Bare minimum. Right. So I think we need to start a company about like farmers keepers or something like that.
Exactly, because we do this with our pets, like our dogs anyway. But I always think about my babies when we're gone, and we do have the automatic door. Like,
we got that too.
That's
a
saving grace.
Yes.
Like we sitting up there at everything, and so I felt good about that opening up. But it's the other part of it. And one chicken died while we were away.
Same with me. One of mine died while I was away.
My daughter was just like, she was distraught. Like, what am I gonna tell mom and dad the chicken died? I'm like, what? Well, we still don't know the cause of it. Right. But again, it's just, I guess that comes with the territory.
Yeah, it's part of it.
Chicken sitters.
Yeah.
That's a whole
chicken sitter. It is, because we got so many people now with farms and stuff like that. They love these are pets, not just producers. You know what I mean? Sure. So I went on care.com. I went on the dog thing, and I thought I hired somebody. They didn't show up. So then I ended up having to call one of my family members to come, and they did end up, luckily they did end up come. So
I feel like maybe I'm an entrepreneur.
Right.
So I feel like we may need to create the change we want to see.
Man, I'm trying to tell you, like, and I think because especially here it's local schools. So it's just people that need some of those hours, and they probably want to make some money too.
Listen. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Y'all get ready. Right. We manning these coops. Right.
It's serious business. It is. Man, it's an investment, and I'm in it for the long haul. That's why I feel that, when children come visit, not only for the eggs for my family, but it's the extension of. And it's wonderful to see so many people are getting into this market.
Yes.
And not just doing it for the for cloud or whatever you want to say. Oh, I just got chickens. No, the benefits that come with that, how it helps with our mental health.
Yes.
And how eating the eggs are pure, great for our bodies. But I think it's a mind, body, and soul experience when you get chickens.
It really is. And one of the misnomers of people like, oh, you eat eggs all the time, huh? Your cholesterol probably high. It's not that type of cholesterol in the eggs. That's a myth. We've looked it up and debunked it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I told Eric, I said, now that we are doing it, we are super healthy. I'm this close to being vegan. This close.
Okay.
I love to only eat what I grow. And I told Eric, let's go on a 30-day challenge to only eat what we grow. And so he was like, well, we need to start doing meat birds then.
He's like, you got to meet me halfway. Exactly. I feel you on that one.
Yes, he's definitely vegetarian. So we are considering doing meat birds.
Cool.
So stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned for the meat birds. We're going to talk about that in a second. Let's talk about this feed. I got to get to it because you make your own feed.
Yes. And let me tell you something. It's very time consuming. I'm not going to lie. But the benefits are better. And again, I'm just very conscious about what we put in my body. I am a cancer survivor of 2 times. And I remember my oncologist telling me about, being very cognizant about what goes into my body. And so if I take that same method to my chickens, very cognizant about what goes into their bodies. And I know people say, oh, there's no such thing as you having an organic egg or whatever the case may be. Listen, you do what's best for you, and I do what's best for mine.
Right.
But how have you tried making your own chicken feed?
No, I haven't. I haven't done that because I don't have the time, I don't think, and I haven't grown anything yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So right now I'm a checkerboard man. I'm Purina. Like I've tasted my eggs. They taste delicious.
Yeah.
I haven't really lost a bird to anything other than natural causes or, a stray dog. So I'm like, I'm gonna go with what I know. Right. But I'm not opposed to that. Like I see how happy and healthy your birds look. You know what I mean? I see how happy and healthy y'all look online. I'm like, this is another move to do. Right. You know what I mean?
It's the receipts, and I tell you what works for everybody does what works for them. Turner Meals is another company that makes great feed. My girls are so bougie; they don't even like the pellets. It's like everything got to be crumbled up.
Yeah.
Even when I take the vegetables off the stalk, like I give them kale. They literally they want me to take the kale
and break it down. Ooh, you got some. Ooh, you really got some bougie ones.
Bougie, baby.
Mine will take kale straight out my hand, like before I can hit the ground.
Okay. Yeah, we chopping up like a mixed salad and giving it to him. Eric made a little chick-nick table.
Yeah. I got one too. I got chick-nick table too. So we had chick-nicks all the major holidays.
Mine don't have no act right because she want to stand on the table. Where your manners at, Rose? Rose always standing on the table, but it's just an experience, and I wish that when people watch us and they follow our journeys, that they get inspired to do the same. So.
Yeah, they have to. I mean, it's impossible to me. You might never want to do anything outside if you don't get inspired.
Right.
Yeah, because like I watch it, I'm like, I want to do that too. You know what I mean? So I love it. I love what you guys are doing. I got to hit the hype bell again. You guys are amazing. Let's talk about some wish list items. We kind of touched on it a little bit because you was like, I want some goats. Tell me about your wish list. If hubby said, you know what, just do whatever you want to do over here on this acre. What is your wish list? What are you doing?
I'm inspired to do exactly what you're doing.
Okay.
Getting more animals, creating the farm, the mini farm, the petting zoo type, is what we really would love to do. And we are in the process of acquiring more land.
Okay.
Because I think we are maxed out on our property right now. We are using all acreage,
every
parcel, absolutely. But to have it more being of a petting zoo, an experience so people come, it's not only gratifying for me, but I want kids and older people. I want everybody to just come and feel a feeling on how I feel when I go out at 7 a.m. or 6 a.m. and be out there with nature and be with the animals. It's the most gratifying experience.
Me, I'm not an early riser, but since I've been doing this, I have been, right? And it doesn't feel like I'm rising early. It just feels like part of the situation. Yeah. I'm outside early in the morning. It doesn't feel like work.
you know, I love it because it's quiet, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's very quiet. Most people are asleep,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, you notice like mostly older people tend to wake up super early.
Yes.
I'm turning into that person, but
Right.
that's my time of solace.
Same, yeah.
And so when you hear me doing the coming lives from the garden,
yep.
it's because I'm in that space, that mind, that peace, and then the wisdom nuggets kind of drop in my head, and then that's how I share. And again, that's a part of my mental health. It does a lot to my mental health. So gardening and farming, it works hand in hand.
It does.
Mind, body, and spirit. It
right.
really does.
So you're gonna have everything out there. I already know this beautiful black woman's gonna end up with llamas. I already know. I'm putting it out there. Alpacas at the minimum. Absolutely. I know it's coming, and they have great fertilizer. So there's her excuse. They have very good fertilizer.
So what's on your wish list?
So my wish list is, well, my dad has given me a wish list. So he wants full grown horse, like full size horses, right? So I have to move first.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to end up moving. I got something that has nothing to do with farming. I want a tortoise. Tortoises are vegan. They live a long time. They just be chilling. I want a tortoise. I think I want more goats.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely I want to probably do a couple more big chicken coops. So a couple more big coops, and then I want turkeys. Okay. Yeah, I have ducks now. Ducks are one of those things.
You got a lot. Oh yeah, you definitely need a lot of land.
Yeah,
you need a lot of acreage. I see that. You know, horses are amazing. You know, some of my family has it, but they're super expensive.
They are.
They are.
I have the half horses, and they are expensive.
Are they?
Yes, they're not crazy. The vet bill the first time, I was surprised at the cost of it in a good way. Yeah. The vet came out, wonderful vet. If I could remember the name of the veterinary clinic, I would drop it right now. But they come out. He was like, "Oh, the trip charge is only $85, and then we'll charge you everything on top of that." I was like, "That's amazing." You know, I think it ended up being like maybe $300 for 2 horses. Do all the vaccinations, make sure everything was good. They got to come back out and float their teeth. I have a rescue horses, so they have different. You know, they have some issues, but nothing bad. Just some things we need to work through. Right?
Is that expensive though? Like you think about it, it's still a bill at the end of the day.
It is a bill, yeah, and it adds on to the other bills. Because you know, if it ain't the horses, it's the goats. If it ain't the goats, it's the dogs. If not the dogs, it's the rabbits or the chickens. Something everybody's gonna have an issue, and it's usually not gonna be at the same time. Right.
And you know, as we start adding, you know, more chickens to our flock, it's like you think about the cost, but they kind of pay for itself.
Yeah.
Because we do sell our produce, we do sell our eggs, and I told my husband, the more we get, you know, the more of a profit, and then again, the more impact I think that we will make. Because now people are wanting to come to see these colorful eggs, and because that's a whole market.
It is.
I noticed that when everybody was starting to, you know, talk about they wanted, you know, fresh eggs, and then they didn't know that these chickens make these color eggs. They will pay top dollar for those blue eggs, green eggs, copper, like the chocolate eggs, what we call them. People pay top dollar for that.
Yeah, and it's wild that I love it because they may think it tastes different, but these eggs, if the chicken is eating the same, having the same life, basically, it don't matter what color it is, those eggs are going to taste the same amount of delicious.
Yeah,
right. Because I would be funny when people like, I don't like brown eggs. I'm like, well, that's the same as the other color.
Exactly.
It's a different case.
Exactly.
Right?
I don't have white eggs yet. You have white eggs?
I don't have any. I have very close to white eggs. My Samanis. They lay like a really almost white or pink egg. Yeah. So my Somali, which is the weirdest thing. It's an all black chicken, but it lays a almost white egg.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's the most pretty. I see the girls are pretty.
Thank you so much.
And my mother-in-law is talking about getting silkies, and so I've been down this rabbit hole of looking for information. But they're expensive.
Yeah.
They
can get up there.
Instagram, it's $350 for one chicken.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. That's just me. I know, hey, no her. I mean, listen, it's some amazing like novelty breeds out there. Like our friend of the show, Taylor, up in Minnesota. He is bred a mix of, I think it's a white leghorn and a Somali. So you got all white chicken, all black chicken, and now he has a zombie chicken.
What?
It's an all white chicken with black eyes, a black beak, and a black comb and wattles.
I think that's a beautiful thing.
It is. Like, it is. I'm like, man, this thing is amazing. So I can see where like you taking the time to breed these things, trying to get the genetics right. Yes, you got a cost, But me, I'm like, I myself won't pay that much for a chicken only because you never know what can get loose into your yard.
Exactly. And I'm thinking about a chicken that beautiful. Silkies are absolutely like show chickens. I don't see how I could just let them go in that regular coop that's full of dirt. And
right. You got
they'll be filthy.
Right.
Like, I gotta bring her in the house at this point. And you see people bring their chickens in the house.
They do.
Have you ever done that?
I have. I've been guilty. I said I was not gonna be this guy, and I made a post about this. I said I was never gonna be this person. And then I panned the cameras in my living room, and I had 3 brooders going at one time in my living room. I had ducks in one and 2 with chickens in it going this spring. And I was ashamed of myself. I was like, I got all these birds in my house. You know what I mean? I'm now starting to bring one of my ducks in the house. I got this big, massive duck. I don't know. Nobody knows what kind of duck it is. I got it from the hatchery. Okay. I know what I ordered. Don't know what I got. So we got 10 of them. He's been trying to tag along with me a little bit. So I'm trying to bond with him, like bond with this one duck, because the rest of them don't care about me at all. Do all your chickens let you pick them up, or how's their temperament? So like you got Easter egg, right? Yeah. In the comments, they will be ready for me to pick them up. Yeah. My Wyandotte, if I sitting down, she'll jump up on my shoulders. And I don't know how she get that high. She a big girl. Right. So that my Orpingtons have all been cool with human interaction. Somani's no deal. They don't want no parts of me at all. They don't want to deal. Like if I get close, they going the other way. I got one I call Eagle, and we have to clip her wings. Oh yeah, she fly. She'll take off, like take flight. She looks like an eagle. Now she produces eggs like crazy, but you do not touch her. She'll take off like Jackie Jordan Kersey. My husband, she gets out the coop. We gotta chase her. It's a whole debacle. Yeah. Do you clip your wings on some of your birds? We had to when we were in the other neighborhood, because they would jump my fence, go in the neighbor's yard, tear their tomatoes up, and then come back like nothing happened. So I had to clip wings. I had to clip wings for like almost a year. Wow. But now I don't have to anymore. They pretty cool. They do jump the fence. I'm like, y'all jumping out of safety, but then they'll come back. Right. So I'm like, you know what? I ain't even tripping. Getting them back in ain't the hard part. It's like once they get out there, it's like, we free. They want to go exploring. And I'm like, okay now. Yeah, it's stuff out here that you're not ready for. Exactly. Right. So yeah, I see you guys clipping wings and all that. You have to. Yeah, for sure. And we are, we live in such a wooded area. We have all coyotes and all types of predators that could come. We had, and predators are super smart. Yeah. Like I saw a video on TikTok where this raccoon was literally lifting up like a door thing. I'm like a fascia board. It was something. I'm like, are you serious? And I'm like, they are so clever. If they really want to get in, they're gonna get in. Absolutely. They figure it out. What are you doing for predator prevention? Anything in particular? Oh, we Fort Knox at our house. My husband, he had built all our chicken coops, and we have a chandelier in one of our chicken coops. I saw that. My girls was jealous. I ain't gonna lie. They was like, we don't have these types of nice things. My husband literally, he got the very the fencing. I can't think of the name of it. That hardware cloth. Absolutely. Yeah. We have that all around the perimeter of the coop. But I did notice we had some country mice. Have you had issues with that? We had before I moved, we had a rodent problem. Yeah. And they figured it out. And then it started with a couple mice, and the rats figured it out. And we had ones like this big in there. So we did natural traps. I did some natural traps, and then my guy Sean Truly Nolan, he came and he did some bait traps for me too around, and it kind of cut down most of it. Yeah. But that is a very tough problem to get rid of, because once they get in, it's over, and they'll come in and they'll keep coming back. What we had to do, because I just knew for sure that I was not going to get mice or rodents. I'm like, I keep my coops clean, but what we were doing, we were leaving the feed in there, and they're gonna come and they're gonna keep come back and eat. And so we start taking the food up, and then because we started using, like, we have big logs and things, and so we started bringing all that up so they don't go, and hide places like that, places to go and breed. And so we started doing all of that, and now we are back to zero. There we go. But then there's feral cats that can hang around, and I'm normally not a cat person, but now I welcome it. Yes, because that's like a natural way to come in and combat those country mice from coming back. So. Yeah, it's almost like give and take. Like I don't trust snakes at all whatsoever. if you don't have knees, I can't deal with you. You know what I mean? You got to have some ligaments. Yeah. But I know snakes keep down on the mice. So like I'll put like cayenne pepper around my pins. Yeah. Just to hopefully they don't go in the pen, but I don't mind if I see them around the yard or something. I'm just like going to get
from like in the garden. They're garden snakes. They're harmless. I never thought that I would welcome that as well. But that's part of the natural. If you're going to have that, you're going to have that. You know. But we do ammonia. You know, there's some things we do around the base of the garden, but everything else is natural. But the snakes can be they can be pretty yeah,
especially if you're not expecting to walk back there. You going back there to get some cucumbers. Now you know what I mean? You got a boa constrictor back here looking you in the face. This is different. You know,
it's golden corral at my house for these animals.
Yeah.
Like they come in and we can't keep strawberries because of the little squirrels. Squirrels are
nifty.
We got some thug squirrels because they coming through fences to get our goodies. And so we got to keep up with that too.
That's what's up. What are some of the things, and we kind of touching on now, some of the things that are coming from nature you weren't expecting? Because like now I'm seeing all types of different bugs and spiders like I'd never seen before. Yeah. But I think it's because we welcome nature in, now nature is coming to us.
Yeah. So definitely I said we have an uptick in squirrels for some strange reason. I don't know what's happening. Somebody told somebody to tell somebody.
It was like the buffet open.
Exactly. We have that. We have family of deer that come, but spiders definitely because we have different types of bugs with different types of crops. Yeah. But I'm gonna tell you something that I am welcoming. We have so many zinnias. Zinnias are beautiful flowers. They welcome the butterflies. So when you come to my backyard, it's like something off a Disney movie. They're everywhere. Hummingbirds are everywhere. So when people come, it looks super fake. Like it's like
I set this up.
It's the most beautiful thing you've ever seen, and we welcome it though. And so I personally, when I plant anything, it's with the intention to bring the bees because we do have an uptick in bees. Yes. We need bees though.
You need bees,
absolutely. Because now I want a bee farm. I should have put that.
You want some honey? There you go. I mean, listen, we here. Add to it. Why not?
I know, but I welcome it all. And you would have never told me that I would be in this stage of my life because I was a person that didn't like to go outdoors. I don't like worms, but now I welcome worms because that means my soul
is good.
Yes, I got mushrooms growing in my garden. That means my soul is good. So you gotta let it do what it's supposed to do if you're gonna do this journey.
I love that. And we know what, it's a couple things you said. I'm gonna circle back to. You said early on when you were living in the city, health wasn't good, mental health wasn't great, wasn't in the best space of your life. You moved and you talking about all of these things, and I could just feel the energy coming off of you. Yeah. So that's like one of those things that happens.
Absolutely. That's what anybody that's in my circle of life right now, you're probably getting the best version of me because of my mind, body, and spirit being so free and clear, getting back to the nature, to the basics of living in life, not living, with the hustle and bustle. Because I know that was a season that I did, in my life as well, hustle and bustle, but I was fortunate to retire at 40. So this is my chapter 2. Yeah. And so I tell anybody, if you have the opportunity, and you don't have to do it on a large scale, just start with something. Start with a small garden. Start with one chicken. Even though I know chicken math is real, but I promise you, nurturing your mental space, your body, your spirit, man, you will make for a better person.
I love that. We can't end on a better note than that. We're going to get up out of here off of that one. Tell all the few people that aren't following you where to get you at online and how to support the garden and see when you guys are doing these seminars.
Yes, so you can on social media, I'm Naya Brown Mathews. I try to make that consistent across all my platforms. But you can also connect with soulfoodsessionswithnaya.com. That's the way to connect. You can learn about our workshops. We host them twice a month. Just come on and just come into the Garden of Eden and enjoy yourself.
Right. When she said coming to the Garden Live, I just put on my seatbelt and get my popcorn ready because it's definitely something you want to check out. We appreciate you coming through. Please tell your husband we said hello and your time is extremely valuable. So thank you for being a part of this and sharing your story, journey, and information with our audience at Eggcellent Adventures.
Thank you for having me, my brother. I appreciate you.
For sure. And that's our episode, man. Y'all stay tuned for the next ones. Love.